talking, I was like, wait a second, what about bishop e6? You hit the rook. The rook has to defend the bishop on c6. And my point was, the brilliant idea I had was to go rook a8 and rook g8 till I realized that the bishop on c6 does a good job of defending a8. So please carry on.
No, that's actually really instructive, because if this rook leaves the back rank, as you're saying, the rook does need one more tempo because you drop the rook on a8, but it's something to keep in mind because it might be a queen landing there at some point if the white queen can get active, but that just means that bishop e6 tactically is not that big of an issue for black just yet. And black is down a pawn, has definite compensation on the king side, some activity. And look at the clock. Magnus was up 2 minutes. Now it's cut in half. So he needs to find a move, and it's showing that's not an easy position.
It's not. It looks like white's got everything that you want. The problem in Magnus's camp is the queen on e1 is stuck guarding black's queen from giving a check on e3 or giving a check on c1 and an 8-6. There is the geometry of a repetition with checks along the diagonal. And that's what makes it so difficult to get the queen into the game. Magnus does make a move. He goes rook b6. And now there's a huge threat on the board, the one that we're talking about. If it's white to play, white wins with bishop e6, rook c7, rook b8, rook g8 check, winning the queen, winning the game.
Wow, so he wants to play Tanya's idea, and he says, couldn't do it just yet. Let me play a slow move, and bishop e6 is still tempting, but the king is the h7 square. So Saric, he said, oh, I understand what Magnus wants. I'm not going to give it to him, and the king will be safe enough on h6 if it needs to run up the board.
So this looks so scary for black. And he does wait, Magnus. He keeps all the threats on the board. Goes with the king, a move to h2. This is a classic, typical Magnus move. I don't know how many times we've seen him play this today. And we saw a question mark to that move. It's not an accurate one. Black trying to create counterplay. White hits that rook. You've got to go rook c7.
Apparently that was a
What happened there?
Wait, what could black have done instead? Your rook was under attack. Maybe there was rook e8 to go after this bishop, but rook c7 for some reason is an error. It must be related to rook b8 check, because otherwise, what's the big deal? King h7, bishop
f5.
Yeesh. King goes up to h6. I mean, this king is just about to run away. Maybe there's king h3, and he plays it. I was wondering about it. He's just trying to win the pawn.
Oh, wow. And you don't have rook h7 because rook b8, you've taken the h7 square. So queen h4 is a threat. It is a cross on the board for king h3, but it does have a big idea, Robert, of winning the pawn, and it's not an easy threat to counter right now. I'm actually trying to find a move for black, and yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, I'm going to reject this miss. I don't care if it's somehow not the most objectively strong move, whatever. It's a good move. It has a great plan behind it. And I'm guessing that black has some move to survive, but you have 10 seconds remaining. And now it's under 10 seconds, and I don't think Saric is going to find it.
Under 5 seconds now. Good luck finding it. Such a great practical choice and an immediate mistake there. We see queen d8 has been played, and perhaps Magnus can just simply pick up the h4 pawn, queen h4. Rook h7 actually now is a reality because rook b8 doesn't work anymore. So queen d8, not without idea.
I think the bishop should slide back to f5 first, take away the h7 square, so you are ready to play queen takes h4 next. Magnus does that. Saric has no time. He's also down 1 and about to be 2 pawns. Okay, queen h4 looks strong, but c2 is loose at the end.
D6 falls as well. Does he want to trade queens right now with queen h4? You can't pick up rook, the d6 pawn. You've got to be careful with that because there was a trick with bishop f5, winning the rook. And we see this ending being played out. d6 will fall, and the g and the f pawn, along with the king, just feel extremely strong. White can start with king g5 and also set up some mating ideas against black's king.
I love king g5 as mate. King g6 and rook b8 is checkmate. Unstoppable. Good idea, Tanya. And that is that.
Wow. And with that, Magnus wins a game 1, just needs a draw in game 2 to qualify to re-earn his spot in the Champions Chess Tour Division 1. Wow. Ivan Saric will start with the white pieces, so that's the good news for him. Robert, we've got action on the other games. Let's quickly take a look at
Okay, we have
what's going on.
Levon Aronian and Gadakovsky drew their first